Gang violence doesn't start in a vacuum. It has deep roots, social, economic, and historical. In cities around the world, gang-related violence has become part of everyday life. But why does it happen? What drives someone to pick up a weapon, join a gang, or start a turf war? Let's break down the real causes of gang violence in urban areas, one by one. First, poverty. In most gang-heavy areas, economic opportunity is nearly non-existent. Unemployment rates are high, wages are low, and legitimate career paths feel completely out of reach. When you're living in poverty, choices become limited. Sell drugs or go hungry, join a gang or stay unprotected. Gangs offer what society doesn't: income, security, and respect. To someone with nothing, that offer feels like everything. In the U.S., over 80% of youth gang members come from low-income neighborhoods. When the system fails people financially, the underground economy becomes Plan A, not Plan B. Second, lack of education and opportunity. In gang-impacted areas, schools are often underfunded and overcrowded. Students receive little guidance and even less attention. Without access to college, apprenticeships, or stable jobs, many young people give up on long-term goals. Gangs fill that vacuum, offering structure, discipline, and even career ladders, though illegal ones. They become the default path for recognition and survival. Third, family breakdown and generational trauma. Gang violence is often a cycle, passed down like a family legacy. Many young recruits come from broken homes where they experience abuse, neglect, or abandonment. Others grow up with incarcerated parents or siblings already tied to gang life. These young people often experience untreated trauma, and entire neighborhoods suffer from community-level PTSD. In that void, gangs provide a form of belonging, a brotherhood, a surrogate family, and a source of identity. Fourth, police mistrust and over-policing. In many urban communities, especially communities of color, residents experience both over-policing and under-protection. Heavy-handed tactics, racial profiling, and stop-and-frisk policies create fear, not trust. People stop calling the police, they stop reporting crimes, and when the system fails to deliver safety, gangs step in to fill that role. They become the enforcers, the justice system, and the source of protection. All outside the law. This deep mistrust of law enforcement drives a wedge between communities and justice, creating a space where violence is settled through retaliation instead of the courts. Fifth, territorialism and identity. In the gang world, territory equals power. Control over a neighborhood means control over drug routes, protection money, and underground economies. Even something as simple as crossing into the wrong neighborhood or wearing the wrong color can be seen as a threat. Gangs defend turf not just for money, but for pride. In areas where people feel invisible, owning territory gives them a sense of presence, power, and purpose. Sixth, prison culture. Prisons don't just contain gang members, they string kangerske, they gang YTs. Incarcerated members often recruit from within, enforce discipline, and give orders to the outside world. In some systems, gang membership inside prison becomes the only way to survive. These prison-born alliances carry over into street life, fueling ongoing violence even after release. Seventh, media glorification. TV, music, and social media often romanticize gang life, showing the wealth, the loyalty, and the adrenaline. But rarely do they show the paranoia, trauma, betrayal, and early death that come with it. Still, for youth with no hope, the fantasy of gang life becomes tempting. And on platforms like Instagram or TikTok, online beefs quickly turn into real-world attacks, amplifying violence like never before. Eighth, political failure and systemic neglect. In some countries, entire neighborhoods are abandoned by their governments. Basic services like clean water, electricity, schooling, and healthcare are unreliable or non-existent. In these areas, gangs act like shadow governments. They provide food, enforce rules, and sometimes even settle disputes. But it's not generosity. It's control. Where the state disappears, gangs rise. So what causes gang violence in urban areas? It's not one thing. It's many. Poverty, broken education, trauma, distrust, territorialism, corruption, culture. Each factor on its own is damaging. Together, they create a system where violence becomes the norm. But here's the truth. Gang violence is not inevitable. It can be addressed with long-term investment in education, mental health, job creation, youth programs, and police reform. It takes more than arrests. It takes prevention. Because no one is born into gang life. They're pushed into it by their environment. And if we can change that environment, we can change everything. If this video helped you understand the bigger picture, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Let's keep digging deeper, because real change starts with real understanding.